Hey, hey! I am Paulina on the Finnish Path, and welcome to my monthly reading, Good Advice for the Year to Come. Now, I did a spread for the whole 2019 in December, and I drew one card for each month in advance just to get, the what is going to be the theme of each month during 2019. Now, today, this is kind of weird since it is, we are coming to the end of February, and I haven't done a February reading yet because I've been also drawing a clarifier for the coming month at the end of each month. So I was supposed to do clarifying reading for February at the end of January, and I didn't. I didn't actually even somehow realize that the month ended and we moved from January to February. I was in the middle of February when I suddenly realized that, wait a minute, I think I've forgotten something. This is a first in my life. This has never happened to me before. I'm usually really good with my readings and keeping up with my reading schedules and stuff like that. But for some reason, I have completely somehow neglected February. I don't know why. I've been living February, sure, but I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But then it was middle of the month already, and then I started thinking that, why would I do the reading now? It doesn't really make much sense. So what I'm doing now is looking at February, which is about to end, in retrospect. I'm looking at what the cards are saying about February we have already lived. And I've never done this before, so this is a first. But I thought that, why not? Might be interesting. And the thing is, just before I started filming, I checked what was the card I drew for February in December. What was the February kind of theme card? Now, those of you who know Tarot, you are probably already kind of laughing because this card in itself explains more or less why I completely forgot February. I wasn't thinking about it in advance. Why February has been so weird for me. It's gone by, almost without noticing. This is the Hermit. And the Hermit, well, the Hermit, it's a Hermit is about introspection. It's about, withdrawing from crowds, from social life, from other people, and spending time by yourself and delving deep into yourself. Because the Hermit is saying that the truth is not out there, it's in you. So the wisdom and the truth is within ourselves, but we need to kind of dive in there to study ourselves and to find our truth, whatever it may be. Well, this has certainly been my February. I have been somehow completely in my head all month. January wasn't busy as such, but there was a lot going on in my head. We had King of Swords for January, and that somehow kind of stuck. That mode stuck with me, and I didn't even realize that I was I had transitioned from the King of Swords, as in thinking about my life from, few steps away, from looking at it from afar, being like a CEO and not attaching emotion to everything I do. I somehow transitioned very fluently from that into slipping into my mind and kind of curling up within myself. I didn't realize I did that. It's been a good month for me. Lots of things have opened up for me. Within myself, I have kind of learned to know about myself more. And I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot about myself now because I'm trying to see how these cards relate to my actual life in February. I've never done this before either. I've never done a reading for myself publicly, so another first going on here. But this is how I see the Hermit in my February. It's very apt. It's absolutely spot on. And I must confess that when I looked at my the draw I did in December to see which card I drew for February, I did kind of laugh out loud when I saw the Hermit. I was like, okay, well, that explains it. Right. Okay, life is like that sometimes. Now, for the rest of you, thinking about your February, um, the Hermit is not just about retreating to a safe place, quiet place, and communicating with yourself and delving within yourself. It's not just about that. The Hermit is also a teacher. Look at the lamp there. The Hermit shows light, not just for himself, but for others as well. The Hermit might be the kind of a person who finds their inner truth, but they don't mind sharing it either. So, thinking about your February, this could also be pertinent. Sharing your wisdom with others, teaching others, showing others the way. So, think about that. That might also, that aspect has been in my life as well, but for me, my February has been about introspection, very clearly, to the point that I didn't even realize I was doing that, which is funny. Okay, but right. So this was the major theme for February. Let's now draw a clarifier to get some more information. Hey again. Something happened with my camera. It froze. Sorry, but I was about to tilt my camera down so that you can see my draw. Here we go. Here is the Hermit we drew in December, and now I'm going to draw a clarifier. My deck is shuffled, pre-shuffled, but I'll just shuffle just so that you can see that I'm actually, really doing this. This is such a weird reading, Stuff happening, my camera freezing and just the fact that I was supposed to do this particular reading almost a month ago, and I didn't. So, I don't know. Sometimes life is interesting when you are in your head, like I am now. Okay, here we go. I'll do the clarifier. there we are. So, okay. Right, well, interesting, as I keep saying. This is the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Pentacles are about everyday life. They are about home and work and all that. Money, physical health. And number five. Five is kind of, it's, what's the word? It's a discord. It's a challenge. I mean, thinking about four, like a table with four legs, that's really solid. That's stability. But then you add a fifth leg into that, and it's not solid anymore. It's wobbly and it's weird, and it just doesn't work. That's number five. That's number five for you. And this particular card, the image is very interesting. Two obviously poor people here out in the snow in front of what looks like a church, but they are outside all alone and the church is not helping them. So not a very nice image. But the thing with this image is that these two, they are not alone. This person here, she's blind, but she can walk. There's nothing wrong with her legs. Whereas this person, this crippled person, in fact, a leper, there's a bell around his neck. It's difficult for him to walk, but he can see. So together, these two can help each other and undirect each other. Together they are strong, even though they are not getting any help from the church. So they are making do. Very interesting. I'll tilt the camera up so that I can, well, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't see you, but you can see me. There we go. So this is the clarifier for February. Thinking about my February. Yeah, it has been about helping each other. I don't feel I have needed a lot of help myself. I mean, more than usual. But I do have dear friends. I have, helped, well, not necessarily that, but I have lived through some really difficult things with them. So I have offered support. And while doing that, I have also received support. That's the way it always goes. It's never, or it shouldn't be. Helping someone shouldn't be just, one-sided. One helps and the other receives help. That's not what this card is about. These two people are helping each other. They both have something the other person doesn't have. So, that has been happening. And perhaps I have been in a particularly good place myself to do that. Because I have been doing this introspection. I have been in my head. Yeah. All in all, these cards do explain why I completely neglected to do a reading for February in advance. This is why. This is why these are the last couple of days of February, and I am only now doing a reading for February. And this is why, very clearly. There's been a lot going on, not necessarily earth-shattering things, but certainly emotional things for me. Yeah. Interesting to see what March is going to look like. I'm going to do a reading for March, in the next few days. So, yeah. Okay, as you can see, I'm still quite, pensive. I'm still wrapped in my head. It's such a weird read. This whole thing has been weird. Okay, so there you go. Mm. Okay, that's it. This was my February. I don't know if this helped anyone at all, apart from myself. I hope it did. But uh, yeah, this clarified some issues for me regarding February. Okay, that was it. But in the next few days, I will be doing a reading for March. So look that up. I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching. Hey, hey.